to Black Dragon Immortalis. I am Morgan, and this is Vincent.
How you doing, guys?
We wanted to discuss the differences between invocation and evocation, and also the application of astral invocation and astral evocation and the differences.
How do you feel about that?
Well, when you're dissecting the differences between invocation and evocation, I think it's a very simple, definition between the two.
Okay.
For people who are just beginning to learn evocation, that is when you summon a spirit to you in full manifestation. While you may not fully see the spirit because your third eye may not be completely refined or attuned to the energies yet,
Right.
when the spirit does come, they are there fully present with you. So that's evocation. The difference with invocation is that you are invoking the spirit. You are taking the spirit into your body. You are becoming one with that spirit and joining with them.
I think that's a very intimate thing when it comes to workings.
Oh, absolutely. So when you invoke a spirit, this is a form of possession. You can either be partially possessed, you can be fully possessed. A lot of people get caught up on the term possession because of Abrahamic religions and how they have demonized possession.
And let me explain, this is not The Exorcist. So that was
Misnomer.
it was a misnomer. It was outrageous. Although a great movie, it's one of my favorites. It's not something that has any value.
Any real bearing.
Yeah, any truth. I mean, if there's any truth to, what went on, they were, they just happened by happenstance.
Right. So there is a video that B.K. Johannem has done about, actually he did one on invocation and one on evocation. So if you'd like more information, he has 2 separate videos on that. So he delineates the differences between the two and some other information that is good, especially for beginners. But we are going to cover the aspects of invocation and evocation on the astral level and how to accomplish each task and why it might be important to do so. Do you want to talk about the reasons why first?
That's fine. The Astral Magick is something that I have mastered over several years of working with many entities. One most pronounced to me is Lucifer. The next is King Paimon. Astral Magick is taking in those entities and bringing them to your astral plane. The way you do that is through the mind and opening up the mind to unbelievable heights. You can manifest almost anything. If you can think it, it can become something. I know that sounds so ridiculous to most people, but this is something that I have studied and accomplished time and time again and been very successful with.
I think there are 2 particular things for me that were really important when beginning to work with Astral Magick. The first is the fact that you can be anywhere. If you have an emergency situation and you need to access your astral temple right now, right then and there, and be able to get to it and practice your magic immediately, you can do so with Astral Magick. I think for me that was the foremost important factor, really just making it, something that I could understand and access at any moment in time. So that was unbelievable. The second thing for me is that, like, through practicing the astral evocation or astral invocation, either way, when you practice the evocation, you can bring that spirit into your astral temple to full manifestation. You can see the spirit completely. Whereas in physical reality, you have to rely on your smoke or your incense or the fire, different things that we have. Video technology, like if you video record it or you take photography during your rituals, sometimes you can see manifestations. Most people are not attuned enough to their psychic senses to be able to see any kind of physical manifestation in the physical with their third eye. I know that we both have experienced
Very much so.
Physical manifestation. I think it takes a long time to be able to open your third eye and become attuned to those energies.
Keep in mind that I have upwards of 32 years. My wife is over a year and a half. But in time, anybody, and I mean anybody, can accomplish Astral Magick.
Right, and with the right information and the right tools available to you, it's beyond possible. Some of the things that I have seen using Astral Magick are mind-blowing, particularly when working with Arachne. When it comes to Arachne, what are your experiences?
Well, Arachne is one of the last entities that I chose to work with, because I once had a fear of spiders, and now she's taught me to not fear spiders. It was difficult though. I only got to see two forms. One is her smoke form, and the other one was partially her spider form. I think she took pity on me, knowing that I once had a fear of spiders.
I have definitely experienced that when spirits are working with you, they tend to show us themselves in ways that can relate to us better.
That's fair.
I don't think the majority of the time they are trying to terrify us, although there are times where their terrifying imagery is important for one reason or another.
Right.
Sometimes that imagery is trying to teach us something. Sometimes it is symbolic of other things. Sometimes it's very personal into our lives and meanings of things that would apply only to us. So I think it just is very important, especially to write everything down, because when you've experienced an evocation or an invocation, a lot of times there are visions that come along with that. And I know that, like, I also channel spirit, so when they are telling me things, I'm writing everything down, because there's no way I can just remember all of that.
Channeling has become a new thing for me. And the funny thing is that the spirits are just coming. There's no warning. It just kind of flows and spits out of my mouth.
Right.
And it can sometimes be quite abrupt. I'll interrupt an entire conversation and start, yammering on. And at times it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And there are times where it's dead on the money. So it just depends. It's something I need to get used to. Again, it's fairly new to me. My wife, on the other hand, has mastered it as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
She's
I don't think that, but
quite adept to doing that with a blink of an eye. But again, some people are more adept to certain abilities than others. And it'll take time for you to do the same.
I think one of the most important things when channeling spirit is just to not question it. Don't question yourself.
No.
If you are opening yourself up to that spirit, if you have invoked that spirit or evoked that spirit, and you can feel their energies, they are with you. And if you open yourself up to the possibility and understanding that they are trying to communicate with you, just let it flow. Just get into a trance-like state, which is easier said than done, because sometimes we can't quiet the mind. If you can focus on your breathing and just focus on those breaths you are taking, instead of thinking words, think in sounds. So think the sound that breath makes instead of thinking words. That will help to clear your mind and open it for the spirits to communicate with you. That is the biggest key to unlocking spirit communication, in my opinion.
And you know what? It's easier said than done, but with practice, it can become second nature.
Right.
I can do it with relative ease, but again, I've been doing it for years now. It's like waking up in the morning. It's quite simple.
Right. So if you learn to trust yourself when spirits are communicating with you, you can get a lot more information and write things down. And what's really neat is I found that over time, you will find that the things that you have been given during channeling, you'll be able to verify in your life. Someone may come to you and tell you something, and it's something that you already channeled and you already know about it. You knew about it before they did. Or you were told about it before it occurred. I've had things like that happen a lot. And it's just a validation that, what you're doing is right. That you're actually making communication with these spirits.
Do you want to tell the story of Paimon and myself?
Which one?
About bringing back the information?
No, I think we'll keep that one under our hats for a little
right,
while. Yeah.
We so will.
King Paimon did help us, though. We can give the little bits.
It's fine.
There was a particular project, we'll say, that we were working on, and we needed some information. And Vinny went ahead and went into his astral temple, and he put himself on the altar of sacrifice and sacrificed himself as a living sacrifice to King Paimon, asking for help with this information. The moment that he did that, the information became available to me immediately, and we were just so grateful and thankful to him, and we're grateful and thankful to Vinny as well for doing that at that moment, so that this information could become available to us. So that was extremely important and pivotal for us.
And again, as you become adept to whatever magic you choose to run with, it'll become second nature to you as well.
Definitely. We are going to go ahead and put some links down below for you guys to reach out to us. Again, we are Black Dragon Immortalis. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook. We have our website, blackdragonimmortalis.com.
Thumbs up, people. Thumbs up.
We thank you so much for spending time with us this evening, and we will see you on the other side.
Take it easy.